This is going to be fun. I've already started reading the show description and it's a blast. What's going on, everyone? It's the AdamCarolla Subreddit podcast. I'm your host, Ken Braverman. I've been here for years, and we're all old Adam Carolla fans here. We're here to enjoy a podcast, and that's the podcast I'm doing for everyone. Jay Sakic 99 has posted today just 2 hours ago. It's ACS October 27th. It's a Friday. Tammy Pescatelli and Danny Jolis. Names that have a lot of L's in them. John Popper of, well, first of all, this is not the show photo. This is Adam eating from Olga. Sakic, you need to get more creative. Find more pictures of, put pictures of Crystal up there. Do that tomorrow. Oh, there's no show tomorrow. Do it today. Change this. Fix this and put a picture of Crystal up there instead. John Popper of Blues Traveler calls in at the top of the show to announce their new event. John Popper there. That's Adam's there. Working Blue with Adam Carolla and Juan Paper. January 20th. Sounds like a Super Bowl day. Actually, that's one of the most anxious days of the year, I believe, is January 20th. 3 weeks into January, there's a lot of like year-end reporting. HR departments are really uptight. It's a rough time of year. They measure that. The most stressful day of the year. I think it's around January 26th, actually. It's a little bit after that. Anyway, John talks about covering police songs and how being in a wheelchair for 2 years, he's out of one now, has led to a performance gimmick that once made Dawson cry. Speaking of which, boy, the lackey really took his own grammatical attempts at making this show description. It's okay, it's funny. We like what you're doing. We like that you're trying. The more you write, the better. The better it is for the show. Speaking of which, Dawson, what are you supposed to put there? Speaking of Dawson, he tells them about the fire his dog started in the kitchen last night. And that's all you're going to give me in that sentence? Well, I have to guess how that happened because it's what some of the comments are about below down here, right? Totally wasn't Dawson passing out. It wasn't Dawson. Here's my guess about what happened here because I've seen dogs do this. I'm guessing the dog jumped up onto the stove area and turn the gas on. And sometimes if they do it right, they actually, light the gas stove. I'm guessing that's what it is. And Dawson had 1981 Playboy magazines there, which, by the way, I have some. I was digging through an old basement. And I found Playboy magazines from the late 70s and early 80s. A lot of Bush. You think Bush was the guest yesterday? No, the Bush was in my basement when I found all these super old Playboys. Anyway, that's my guess about how the fire was initiated. I'm guessing it wasn't that bad, given that Dawson is breathing here yesterday or today. Actor and comedian Danny Jolet comes in to talk about his innovative stand-up special. That's right, be innovative, Jolet. You choose an interactive comedy special. Danny Jolet is unprepared. That's what he's doing here. Viewers can actually choose how they want the special to go. What if they want it to end, Danny? Do you have a plan for that? Okay. Comedian Tammy Pescatelli. She joins the show and she says, I love a Mario. Adam's in the studio. Wait a minute. She joins Adam in the studio. She talks about losing her sense of the nostrils. She can't smell anything. Good if she's a guest with Adam. From COVID, maybe she should get it back. Dealing with the Amish. Yeah, do you ever see them riding their horses on the road? I drove through Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago, and 2 times, first of all, they don't have a lot of lights on the back of that horse carriage. You're flying down one of these roads, and all of a sudden you're like, what is that? Is that a UFO? No, it's some guy with a horse. That's what happened. Anyway, dealing with the Amish, telling a story about how she lost an HBO deal after making fun of the president. It's like, who's president? Which president? Which president? Tell me what. Who? Gina Grad reports the news. Now, I'm going to start defending Gina because these news stories are funny, and that's what made me kind of want to record this podcast. Was there's a lot to talk about here. She reports the news of the day, including death of the world's dirtiest man. Sound familiar? I think there was a post about that. A British radio host dying on air. I didn't hear about that one. Oh no. First of all, waking up in the morning when you're exhausted and not getting enough sleep. I think more early morning radio hosts should drop dead because not because they should, but because you don't get enough sleep. Right? Adam has talked about this. Like there's a certain amount of sleep your body needs, and when you don't get it, it just gets tough. Kanye West getting kicked out of Skechers headquarters, Yep, he's losing his way. And the Pope, I heard this one, the Pope admitting that even priests and nuns watch porn. Dude, the Pope's got some balls to say that his nuns are watching porn. This Pope's a good guy. I mean, he has been trying to bring the church into the, well, let's call it the 18th century, getting it closer to where we are today, maybe 19th. Good guy, though. It reminds me of John Paul. We like John Paul. We like the Polish Pope. He was a good guy. Gina, if you're reading this, no. No, we will not F you. We will not. We are not soy boy. We will actually appreciate these popular news stories that seem to be of interest that you provided us today on the show. That's what we'll do. There aren't very many comments yet. I just wanted a podcast to let everybody know that we're here. That Jay Sackey needs to do better here. This is unfair. We should not punish someone for repeatedly for having one of infinite drunk moments while eating and smiling for his Guatemalan nanny. I can't remember where she's from. Point is, Sackey, you got to get more creative. Go find something. Go fish around on Instagram. I know you're not listening to the show anymore. Can't you just check out, find a better photo? Sell it. Got to do it. All right, guys. That was the Adam Carolla subreddit podcast for the day. Enjoy. This sounds kind of like a listenable, slightly listenable episode. Slightly, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to listen to it. Maybe you could if you want to. Good luck. May all your podcasts be listenable.